Welcome back to Witness Stories. In my whole life, I never witnessed a ghost or spirit in the visual field of this physical world. Not while awake, at least. I never have seen a UFO either up to now, clear through 2024. So I am a little envious of people that have had either adventure. Elementals are a slightly different story. I have some experiences there. But just one time, I heard something physically with my own physical ears. In our house, my daughter and grandchildren lived with my wife and me. My daughter and others in the house had been seeing shadows once in a while, and at least once they think they saw a passing shape of the figure of a man. My wife and I lived upstairs in the master bedroom, and we left the house for everybody else's use. But one time I went downstairs to look at some problem near the first floor bathroom late one afternoon on the weekend. As I crouched down, I heard a very loud voice do a heavy, sad, emotion-filled moan. And there was nobody else in the house but me and my wife. It had a huge echo to it. It sounded like it came from upstairs in the master bedroom closet, as if there were no floor between me and the source of the sound, like the house was one great big large shell with no walls and no floors. That's just what it sounded like. Needless to say, I and my wife did not ignore this after that. We performed a rescue procedure, a calling for help to come take the man to cross over, or travel into the spirit realm if you prefer to look at it that way. One can simply do this in your head or out loud. You can just ask for help to do that. Maybe like, God, please take this person into spirit. Something like that. In the same way, you can also first tell the ghost, think of talking to that entity, tell them everything is okay, that some help will come, that he or she will have no trouble or judgment in this. This help loves and cares for you and will take them to a better place than this. Let them know all physical, emotional, and mental pain will end. They will be led through a tunnel or path. Please go with them. This is helpful if you also visualize these events happening. If you think the ghost will respond to such a thing as Jesus or Buddha, say that and direct your question at that source. If you need more instruction, watch the Rescue Mediums on streaming TV. There are other sources of this information these days if you look for it. After we did this process, we never heard or saw anything from this ghost again. You might say this is actually all in my head, but I agree to disagree. I will piggyback this story that you just heard with this next one. It is being a very similar situation. At the place I was working, often I will walk around the place and just find just off my line of sight, I think a person is there. And when I shift my eyes that direction, I'm surprised I see nobody. It looks like I may have mistook a vacuum or a broom or a cabinet for a person. It would happen in doorways, dark corners, or the lunchroom. Only in places that a custodian or a cleaner person would feel like it's their own workspace. This went on for many months after I started working at that place. I'm not afraid of the dark or ghosts in general, and had no expectations for this to happen at work. So I do not think it was possibly any of my own mental fears or imagination. My wife and I discussed it, and she soon performed the process for me. After that, I never had that perception of a ghost of a something being there at my work ever again. It was gone, totally gone. Well, that's the story. I got no more for you than that, but many people have this kind of experience. Believe me, this situation can be taken care of.